Hello, SpeedGaming and SNES Super Stars. So this is going to be Brandish. I'm Osse, and I'm going to start with a little introduction because it's something I always want to do every year, but let's try it this time. So Brandish is known for having a weird camera, and here's how it works. I'm facing south right now. Compass at the start says south. You can tell by the treasure chest here. Now I'm facing left. Left. West. And you see the chest on the left in front of me still. And so I'm just going to spin around like this, and it's just snap spins. That's all that's happening. Okay. So let's get this started. Let's get this started. Taking a lot longer than I would like it to. The longest reset in the history of resets. Okay. I got the intro in. That's all I wanted to do this year. So here's Brandish. Nice little dungeon crawler game. Action RPG. Step 1 is up the game speed. Each game speed setting doubles the speed that you're playing. And so now I'm going twice as fast, just like that. Same for messages. Right away, we're in a bonus section of the game. And I'm going to get this warp magic here. Warp magic is very end game magic. Very, very end game. So it's pretty powerful. 1 mana bar equals go anywhere that you've already been. And then you summon these in keys. These are, fundamental dungeon items. I picked up hammers. So keys and hammers are your basics. And from here on, it's just go through 50 floors and beat the baddies at the end. Sometimes split. And then here we have the next set of items to describe. Named keys. So just a key for a door that's nearby. Nothing special. And then here we have our first puzzle. It's a pit puzzle. You find the solution to it by dropping down and failing it once, and then you see where all the bad tiles are from below. And all we're missing now is combat. But that sums up the game. Get items, open doors, and solve puzzles. Jumping is the fastest way to move. It's slightly less than twice as fast as 2 steps. Or it's slightly faster than walking. But you do it 1,000 times, you save time. And here we have a nice use of warp to skip this rock. A warp does have a cast time, but rock starts rolling slow, so I can make it in time. And the box in my inventory is increased inventory space. Okay, now here we get some lore. Here's our antagonist, Alexis. The story is we were fighting, we got separated, and now we're fighting again. And yeah, that's how it ended the first time as well. You fell in the pit. And that's how the interactions with Alexis work. They'll show up, and something bad will happen, and then we'll be apart again. Here's a boulder clip. The inputs are... you can buffer some of them. Like movement inputs and attack, you can buffer. So if you buffer the moves on those reptiles, you can clip through the boulder every time. And that's really the only one where it works. There's more boulders, and you can clip through them, but it's a bit random on the timing. Okay, here we get into platforming. A push and a pit is a death. So I gotta look at where the pushers are, using other pushers as reference. I step on a floor switch that opens the door. So this game comes from PC 98, the original release, and it was ported over to SNES. Famicom, SNES. And one of the features they had originally is this interact, inspect, and what? No, drop. But first, let's do this 6-frame clip. 6 frames. 3 times. Okay. Intended way is much harder. Pretty obnoxious. So yeah, the hand represents interacting with what's in front of me. And then the L and R buttons are modifiers on the hand. So you get inspect. And I'm going to do that to talk to people. A nice double side hit. This. So yeah, I can only interact with what's directly in front of me. And the world turns so that everything is directly in front of me when I need it to be. Hammers again. There's some magic healing water. A fun little thing they do is they some of the floors are themed. So this one is, it has a theme of time doesn't pass. So that's why I get like dinosaur enemies, and resting doesn't do anything. Because you can't rest if time doesn't advance. And then on this floor you have a teleporter maze. So, a lot of floors just have themes or overarching puzzles like that. Next, the whole zone we're in is these ruins. The game takes place in an underground cave, been lost to time. And so at the very bottom is the ruins of an old civilization. So the intro shows that there was a king fighting with a dragon, and the king won, but he was cursed. And so his kingdom turned to ruins. Typical story. Want to have that arm on. For the frogs coming up. Frogs are tough. So we're going to pass through a couple different tile sets. Showing off the kingdom, and then the powers that curse the king and all that. Okay, so frogs, we get to talk about enemy AI. Frogs are aggressive. So if they see you from a few tiles out, they're gonna chase you down. And they have an attack and then retreat pattern. This dwarf here just wanders around for his AI. And if you're within range, he'll attack. He also blocks. So I'm trying to attack him after he attacks me, so that he's not blocking. There's frogs again. It's gonna take a back hit. This is one of the more stressful levels, by the way. I have to react to the dwarf hit because his attack timing's random. And I have to counterattack. If I'm too slow on it, I get hit and die, because I die in one hit. Dwarf has the best experience, and also does the most damage. I almost died. This game has auto-blocking, so I don't have to press a button to block. I can if I want to get range. So auto-blocking just saved me. Okay. C means invisibility. I can't walk past that dwarf without getting hit. Or rather, it's random if he attacks or not, but if he does attack, I die. So I use invisibility to go a long way. A lot of the game is about dodging enemies or avoiding enemies. Early on, it's just dodging, and I can survive a hit usually. Later on, it's I can't survive a hit, so use invisibility. This is an ice ring, uses ice magic. Magic is very bad in this game because it doesn't work on the enemies that matter. I'm just going to use the support magics. turns out this wizard boss coming up is weak to ice magic. I'm gonna lob some of that at him. And it'll help. Okay, so carefully maneuver around the enemies. Really easy to pull the trigger on these punches too early and then die. Okay, so time for actual weapon and actual slow strats. Okay, get that ice ring. Okay, this is him. They're completely synced until I ice ring him. Weapons have durability, so that's why I wasn't using a weapon until now. And 2 round is what I'm trying to do on this boss. I got the 2 round. So yeah, I was grinding levels on the dwarves. That went pretty well. And then after I get some base damage from level ups, I put on the sword and then hit the boss with it. And then right after we have another boss. And this one is a melee fighter. We get to show off how to fight things in Brandish. That little spiderling crabling healed it for 4? 10? They have 4 health, but it healed it a bit when you picked it up. Okay. Now I can go fast again. Why did I kill a certain number of dwarves? Because there's experience breakpoints. I was trying to 2-cycle the wizard boss, and so I killed the number I needed to get a 2-cycle. Why am I killing dwarves and not other enemies? Because the dwarves are the most experience for this part of the game. And the bosses are actually the most experienced, but they're hard to farm efficiently. I find this to be a very fun game. It does have a couple problems, but if you play it for a bit, then you can get around that, and then you get an extra sense of accomplishment. For example, text boxes, they're written out, and you can't put in any other action as it's writing out. But what you can do is you can press the directional button so that it finishes writing instantly. And that way you can move again. So every time there's a text box, you have to clear it and then continue playing. And then first time playing, that's awful. But now it's fun because I figured it out. Arm strength goes up quick. So there's 4 kinds of experience. Arm strength, magic resist, and levels. And then defense is dependent on armor you're equipping. If enemies block my jump over a pit, I'll fall in the pit and die. So arm strength, I want to use punch a whole lot of times, because you get experience every time you punch. You get magic resist every time you're hit by magic. You get magic or int stat every time you cast a damaging spell. So I want arm strength, and I don't need magic resist because of the power of Invisibility Potion. A little bit of menu optimization. Yeah, let's try not to die to these guys. Good. You can warp directly in front of an enemy and then die. It says there can be a spider in that, or in front of those stairs, and you can't see behind walls with this camera. Here's a rock beetle. Can't be killed. They're pretty weak to magic, but I don't know any magic. Or I know ice magic, but that doesn't do damage. I'm gonna sell the ice ring later. Buy invisibility for in-game. Next chest I open is gonna have a revival ring, and those are extra lives. And those are used for minor glitches and safety. So this chest, the Ring of Life. That beetle just stepped on a trap and died. And so did that one. I'm trying to, the inventory management, probably the latest thing I've added to the route is, I want to open my dimensional box as few times as I can get away with. So I'm gonna drop an item that I don't need right away, and then pick up an item I do need. Like right here, I'm gonna drop the ice ring. And I'm gonna use this sword I just picked up before too long. Here we have Jump the Thief. It's fastest to mash in this game. Just because you usually hit the jump frame more often if you're mashing. But I'm not going to do that everywhere, because it's tiring. Yeah, it's marginally faster. Now I need everything I can get for that thief. Okay. If he catches me, he will take an item. And I'm probably just gonna reset. Because the game autosaves on every floor. So it makes this game pretty nice for marathons. But if I take a death, I'm usually only going to be sent back a minute at most. Okay, so Knights. Knights are the old enemy I was grinding experience on. But then I decided it's faster to use the boss for that instead. Invisibility Potion because I'm going blind into that room, and archers one-shot kill me. And then kill the archers just to get them out of the way. I'm gonna restock on invis. I need those get around bats. Okay, let's drop, I don't know that. The luck ring. I'll talk about the luck patch later. East Combat. I don't really remember East Combat. Other than bumps. Not bumps. Okay, so there's the puzzle. But what I'm gonna do is get this quest reward, Getty. And I think if I was gonna bring down world record a little more, this would be the first thing to skip. Because that's just a safety item. Kill him. But I tried skipping that armor a couple of times, and did not go well. This game's pretty hard to finish. Deathless. Only died a handful of times. And I know what you need to do. Okay. That was bad menuing. Didn't make room for my key. Cutscene skip. Yeah, we're expecting a death or two, as in a game over. Two at most. More than two is bad. If you want to see more than two, wait for Brandish 2. Right after this. Okay, so here we have second boss, and here's where I do my arm strength grind. He can't walk right in front of that tile. So damage numbers don't matter at all right now, because arm strength is too low. That's why I let my sword break. Okay, it lucked out there. This is the defense boss. I mentioned I can't move during text boxes. And you get a lot of level ups doing this grind. You also don't get the level up right away. They're a little staggered because of how the experience system is used. Yeah, these bosses, one of them has extra defense, one has extra attack. I can block the defense one, but I can't block the attack one. Get a little more grinding and then I'll out of here to a safe spot. Time-wise, that was long enough. And yeah, this damage looks high. A little high on damage. So I could have stopped that a little sooner. But it's hard to tell. Yeah, to attack, I'm pressing an attack button. And it's auto-blocking enemies directly next to me, unless I'm doing another action. Like a potion puts down a shield, attacking puts down a shield, jumping. Okay, so here's bats. Bats are deadly. Cave 10 and Cave 8 are like the hardest floors. Probably the hardest thing about this game mechanically is watching all the bats moving at the same time, or multiple enemies, because they're going fast. And then I have to time my movement. So here you just go fast enough and bats aren't here yet. Now we have the actual hard part. Unless I die. If I die, then the first part becomes hard. Ooh. Full panic. Got swarmed. That's what health potions are for. And I'm hoping to save a few for the next floor. Here's a single bat. But it only takes one. Now we have the random rotation maze of 2 non-rotations. Good start. So here it flips me in a random direction. Forward. Run away. Yeah, that was a run away from the skeleton movement. And then 2 more bats at the end. Okay. 9's not easy, but 10 and 8 are just harder. Go to first room. I can jump through bats or walk over them, but it's not something I ever count on happening. There's too many bats in that room to actually try. That should have killed all the bats in this room. There's 3 in this room, but sometimes they respawn. Okay, so that was a free room, because they all just grouped up at the door. A body block. Okay, good. 8's the hardest floor. And I got through it. Seven, just walk to the stairs. Okay, so now I'm into the money farm section. The next shop is on Cave 3. And I'm gonna buy 6 stacks of Invisibility Potions. And I'm gonna do my arm strength grind on Cave 1. call this the jump scare room. Sometimes there's some spooky Medusas there. Here we have the rocky screen. Pretty easy to back up into that final rock. Like back up too fast or too slow and then die. There's the Medusa. Another aggressive enemy. So I need to wait for her to move towards me and then jump so that she's in a move action. If she's waiting, then she'll do her either attack or stun, and then I'll die. So there's a lot of small AI manipulation you can do in this. Like enemies tend to move forward. So you can walk up to an enemy and then turn their facing. And then if they move towards me, you can jump over them. Here's the shop. I gotta cancel text boxes while shopping. Oh, sell that. And I want to see 60,000. We're well over. Okay, so I'm gonna get health potions too. Okay, here we're getting into the part where it's hard to sidestep enemies. Either hard or slow. And hammers. So I'm gonna invisibility past everything. Why are we saving the world? We just fell in a pit and are trying to escape. And we accidentally saved the world. We have a mysterious background that led to fighting above this cave, exploded the ground, and now we're just climbing out. Yeah, not really saving the world, just leaving. That was a lucky block. Bats aren't as scary right now. Now I'm into experience and level grind. The Chimera. And yeah, all these enemies I can't block anymore. They hit too hard. Just goes right through my leather shield. I guess I won't kill that one, because he's in the hole. Okay, we can talk about invisibility potions for a bit. So the obvious use is enemies can't detect me. And then what makes them good, or I guess this is pretty good. Killing defenseless Chimera. but also magic passes through. Slow strats again. Ninja moves super fast if you're not doing slow strats. So just keep them corralled. Otherwise it's slow and waste the invisibility potions. And then how they function. So a potion adds an amount of time of invisibility, and it stacks. It stacks to about 7-ish. And then every frame you're not doing an action, you lose some of the effect. Probably overusing them, but I don't want to run out and instantly die either. Okay, he got away. I'm running low on them now, compared to where I'd want to be. Turn off slow strats. I don't think I said it, but you can attack faster relative to game time if you turn down game speed. So I can fit in more attacks in the time that an enemy can attack. Here's Dark Zone. You can't see the floor, and they made a zone after that. Up next we have Dark Zone 2. Which is the same thing, but if you misstep, you fall back into Dark Zone 1. And by misstep, I mean any tile that isn't the one I'm walking on. And it says a misstep. Gross enemy layout. I got through. What else? Yeah, Ninja is really hard casual. Comes away. If his back is to a wall, he'll instantly counterattack. And he summons a clone. I think in this version he does. Well, he does in every other version. But mostly he's really, really fast. Red font. My PB in this is really hard to beat. So, see a lot of red font. Here's final shopping trip. Gonna load up on invisibility. This is the only Brandish game where invisibility is as good as it is. This game was on PC 98 and also kind of remade for PSP. And in those, you can't cheese the invisibility as hard. Because they don't block magic damage. This is the floor where I need keys. V means hardening potion. It adds to weapon durability. So in the other versions of this game, you have to do a really, really long magic grind. But in this, I get to use invisibility. Takes like 15 minutes to do the magic grind. White specks are acid tiles. Here's probably the hardest puzzle. So you need to step on the switches around the room, and then whichever pillar doesn't move has the solution. And it's always that pillar. And you need to hit it from a certain facing. I actually do need this. I don't need that. Just drop hammers. Okay, and start talking about luck here. That was a luck pouch. So damage rolls are their own RNG, but then luck adds some more RNG on top of that. There's a hidden luck value tied to your luck stat. And it increases with your normal level, overall level. And luck pouch sets it to max. So that means you're doing the highest damage rolls. Mana potions are really far away from warp. So if I need to like save durability or hit a high defense enemy, I need luck. That enemy is the highest experience. This one's second highest. And the night guys are physical immune. Harpies drain mana. Set your mana to 0. I'm just underleveled. That's why I can't survive a pit. Normally you're just supposed to take the damage. Repair this weapon before it breaks. It's my only one. Grab some backup invisibility I'll never use. Just for safety. And here we got another puzzle. Here we got another puzzle. This one you need to fail it and then read a wall message, and then decode the message. A bunch of R1, L2, J, and then variations on that. And right into another puzzle. You gotta go into these... Okay, so here's what it looks like. Aim and tell, but you're supposed to walk through that. I think that version show up on the map, so you're supposed to open your map periodically. For that kind of false wall. And then on the other kind... on the other kind, you're supposed to see something wrong with the wall. A defect on the wall. Hardening, that should be the last one I need on this sword. Here I'm killing everything because boss coming up. So this boss, I especially want my damage as high as I can get it. There you go, he died. Hit him until he dies. And here we have a sequence break glitch. Not really a sequence break. Time save. That skips half the floor. Just stand on the pit. Not a problem. And here we have the lobsters. I'll save, why not? The lobsters have crazy high defense. And I hate them. Because their whole pattern is to move back and forth. No, I'm in front of you. I'm in front of you. No, I'm not. I'm over here. Don't catch me. Oh, you're dead. Good thing I saved. They attack instantly, too. I'm really not supposed to die here. How did that happen? If you want to count along, I think they have 200 health each. That's lobsters. Yeah, not somewhere I usually die, but that's also how these runs go. Die somewhere different every time. Did I have all my keys? I think so. Open 3 chests, right? Something I did earlier is I carried my my skeleton keys from the start of the game all the way up to Fortress. I think that's actually something you have to do. Maybe not from the start of the game, but from a couple floors down. You have to bring keys forward. Here we have two mimics. So the strat is to warp on top of an enemy. Enemies aren't on the mini-map, or the full map, actually. So you're allowed to warp in a place because there's no obstructions. And that just puts you on top of the enemy, and you jump over. The strat before warping on them was to just kill them with fire magic. Because you can't get close to them, you just die. Even that one will turn sideways and hit me. Puzzle is called Smash the Follow button. Yes, the camera, it just snaps 90 degrees. Just instantaneous turning. Don't worry about it. Always take invisibility before going into warp. And then this section is just going up and down some floors. I gotta get... It's 4 keys for the end, and I need 2 more keys for this part right here. 5 keys total. I think I said more than that. But the true difficulty of this section is all the false walls. That one, and into endgame equipment here. Here's final shield. And I have second last armor already. So that's what I'm gonna stop with. Then on top of that, I'm gonna raise my level stat a little bit. I need a couple more levels still, because I gotta tank some hits. Not some pits. Pits are still too strong, but there's some arrows I can block. And here we have the fireball jump. As when I started learning the game, we had to jump over the fireball, which is a 2-frame blind trick. 2-frame blind random, all that. But we've moved past those days. I just warp over it. Easy every time. Okay, final floor. Sort of. And we have ice physics. And he's going right in the middle of the ice physics. This way. As I said a moment ago, I want levels. And I guess I just go for it here. Looking for... Okay, it looks like I have 70 health, so I'm probably gonna die. Okay, good. I have more than 70 health. I have 72 health. And that's where I want to be. So right on the edge of life and death. There is a kill save incentive on the side, and save one. I just don't like dodging the Rock Sasha afterwards. Okay. So here's why we get Invis. And not magic resist. You need so much magic resist for that enemy. And that's what you do in the PC98 and PSP versions of the game. Grind that magic resist. You also don't get warp rally. So if you're ever wondering how much warp impacts the game, and those are good speedruns to watch. And really just, it makes the game less fun to not have warp. Like, it just adds uninteresting time. Or not interesting things you have to do. Okay, final boss. And slow strats. Slow strats to the end. This is scary. Okay. So yeah, a double magic is going to set my damage to a higher number against this boss. It adds a lot of damage against normal enemies. That's why the Hydra died. But against this boss, it's just like 50% more damage. I was trying to flip through that for more time. So there's a lot going on. Blue fireballs and lasers I can invisibility through. That's why you enter the room with that. Red fireballs I cannot. Green circles are teleporters. The moving things are reflectors or bouncers. And this is about 40 hits. Get out of there. I try to bring 2 revival rings to this fight. One because you can die just entering the room. There's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, that wasn't lined up well to hook through. And that's lined up well to not be able to hit him. He's also bouncing fireballs. Turn game speed down so I can hit him twice per cycle. I think I missed most of my double attacks, but whatever. That's the fight. Yep. I didn't even get into the Japanese version of the game. On Japanese, turning down the game speed doesn't increase your attack enough to be worth it. So you do this fight at full speed, and it's completely impossible. In Japanese, I try to bring 4 rings, I think. Expect to die 3 times. So much harder. Made the estimate, but this time's not that good. Just bleeding time throughout. And only the 1 game over. And this is the good ending. But wants to see good ending. They just talk. Cancelled.